The storm had rolled in faster than anyone expected. Sheets of rain hammered the windshield and the wipers could barely keep up. In the driver's seat sat Daniel, 27, tired and gripping the steering wheel so tightly his knuckles looked bone white. He'd been on the road for 7 hours, heading home from his sister's wedding in Colorado. The highway was empty, except for the occasional flash of headlights disappearing into the night. But then, in the glow of his high beams, he saw it. A car parked sideways across the road, hazard lights blinking like dying eyes. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Daniel slowed to a crawl. The rain distorted everything, blurring light and shadow together. He could barely make out a figure standing beside the car, small, hunched, and motionless. It looked like a woman, barefoot, her hair plastered to her face. He rolled down his window an inch. "Hey, you okay?" No answer, just the hollow sound of rain slapping metal. Something about the stillness unnerved him. The figure didn't move, didn't even flinch at the sound of his voice. Against his better judgment, Daniel pulled over, stepping out into the freezing night. The air smelled of wet asphalt and something else. Faint, metallic. He approached slowly, the rain soaking through his jacket. "Ma'am?" he called again. When he reached the car, he realized the driver's side door was wide open. The engine was still running, but there was no one inside. Then he saw it. Muddy footprints leading from the car into the woods. He turned toward the figure again, but she was gone. He spun around, heart pounding, scanning the empty road. Nothing but darkness and rain. He was suddenly aware of how loud his own breathing sounded. He climbed back into his car, slammed the door, and locked it. "Get a grip, man," he muttered, trying to steady his shaking hands. He put the car in gear, and that's when he saw movement in his rearview mirror. A face, pale, expressionless, sitting in the back seat. Daniel screamed and jerked the wheel. The car skidded off the road and slammed into a ditch. For a moment, everything went silent except the hiss of rain. When he turned, the back seat was empty. The next few minutes were a blur. He called 911, voice trembling, explaining what he saw. The dispatcher told him to stay put. Help was on the way. But the call cut off mid-sentence. Static. Then a whisper. "Don't leave the car." The line went dead. Daniel froze. The voice hadn't come from the phone. It had come from the back seat. His blood ran cold. He turned slowly and saw a handprint appear on the fogged-up glass inside the back window. Small, wet, pressing against the glass from the inside. He couldn't breathe. His mind raced. Was someone hiding under the seat? The trunk? Lightning flashed. In that split second, he saw her again. The woman, crouched just outside his window, staring at him through the rain. Her eyes were wide, desperate, almost pleading. She mouthed something, but he couldn't make it out. Then she pointed, not at him, but behind him. He spun around, and there it was. A man, half hidden behind the passenger seat, eyes gleaming in the dark. Before Daniel could react, the man lunged. They struggled, the car rocking violently. Daniel fought back, his elbow catching the intruder's jaw. He scrambled for the door handle, kicked it open, and fell into the mud outside. He ran toward the highway, waving frantically as headlights appeared in the distance. The approaching car screeched to a halt. A truck driver jumped out, shouting. Together, they looked back toward Daniel's car, but the stranger was gone. Police arrived minutes later. They searched the area, the woods, the ditch. Nothing. No footprints. No trace of anyone. Only one thing remained. Inside Daniel's car, on the fogged rear window, were 2 words scrawled in the condensation. He waits. Weeks later, Daniel learned something that chilled him to the core. A year earlier, on the very same stretch of highway, a young couple had vanished after their car broke down in a storm. The woman's body was found in the woods days later. The man was never caught. Some said he still wandered that road, waiting for travelers who stopped to help. Daniel never drove at night again. But sometimes, when it rains, he swears he can hear faint tapping on his back window. 3 slow taps, then silence. Because evil doesn't disappear on its own. It waits for someone kind enough to stop. And in the quiet hum of the highway, it always finds its way back. Because mercy and danger often share the same face. and only one of them lets you live to tell the story. If this story gave you chills, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your own road trip experiences in the comments. You never know whose story might sound a little too familiar. Stay safe out there, and never stop for blinking lights on an empty road.